This episode is sponsored by Where to Shop and Dine. Download the app on Google Play Store or Apple App Store today. Connecting colleges and communities. Hi, I'm Maya McNulty, host of SceneTV, Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. We're in our new studio now, here located in Rotterdam at Viaport Aquarium, Viaport Entertainment, the new mall. And with us today, I have Alan Finitzi. He is the Public Relations and Marketing Manager here at the new Viaport Mall. Welcome. Yes. So it's a little confusing, Viaport. I know you guys like to say Viaport Mall. I've even hyphenated the Viaport so that we can talk more about getting more people to the mall, and reasons for them to come is one of your newest attractions, the Aquarium. So tell us a little bit about your background, Alan, and explore on that.
Okay, well, I'm definitely glad to be here. I started off in Poughkeepsie, actually, as a breaking news reporter, and I actually got my degree in magazine journalism from Plattsburgh, so tried to get into the journalism scene, and then I slowly marketed my way towards, I transitioned to marketing, and then I became a marketing coordinator for one of the biggest social media firms in the Hudson Valley, and then I just kind of expanded my career from there, and next thing you know, I'm at Viaport, directing all the marketing initiatives.
Great. So you studied marketing and business relations, and you were a journalist, right? A journalist?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay. And now you've relocated from Poughkeepsie to the capital region here in Rotterdam. What do you think about Rotterdam?
Oh, it's great. I love it. It's a great place. The people are nice. I am looking forward to getting this mall, where it needs to be, and making it a tourist destination again. And it's great. It's a great atmosphere, great staff. I'm happy to be here.
Great. So tell us a little bit about what's going on at the Via Aquarium. When are we expecting an opening date? Start telling us a little bit. Okay. What are we going to expect?
Okay, I get that question a lot, about every day. So the earliest I would say we could probably be open is, October 20th, but it could go into November. It's very complex. You have the life support systems, you have the staffing, you have making sure everything goes in there right, making sure there's no leaks in the tanks, a lot of troubleshooting. And I honestly think, it's people are getting a little impatient, but it's going to be worth the wait. It's definitely going to be worth the wait. And when you finally go in there, I'm in there every day, but when people finally go in there, they're going to be surprised at what they see.
Okay, so tell us, give us a exploration experience of what we might see. Are these fish, animals, mammals? Are they rescues? How long would the tour take? What are we expecting?
It's honestly, it's a little bit of everything. We're going to have about over 2,000 creatures of the sea there. Including stingrays, African cichlids, Nemo, the clownfish, and a whole bunch more. It'll take me so long to just run off the list of the whole thing there, but the whole tour is going to take about, an hour and a half, and we're encouraging people to take their time. There's also, there's a big mix of technology in there. We're working with a company called Tech Forward that's going to bring a lot of different technologies into the aquarium. So it's not just a tour of the of sea life, it's also, kind of like a very interactive learning experience as well. So it's gonna be great. You walk in there, you get your ticket. You walk in. You start the tour. You explore the environment. You get to explore the touch tanks, and you get to explore the technology. And it's gonna be a great, unique experience.
Tell us what ages.
Anyone can enjoy the aquarium. You can be 2 years old. You can be 80 years old. It doesn't matter. There's something there for everyone to enjoy. We have wheelchairs for the elderly. I'm sorry, we don't have wheelchairs. We permit wheelchairs in the facility. So it's going to be good. It's basically designed to be a learning experience and a great interactive experience for people of all ages. Really, we don't really limit it to any specific age group.
And tell us a little bit, I heard you had some islands in there and some coral reefs and stuff. Tell us about that. Are those going to be able to touch them, or are there parties or events happening on those? Tell us.
Sure, yeah. We have what we like to call our koi raceway, which has the koi fish around this circular designed island, so to speak. And there's in the middle, we'd like to have birthday parties there and things like that. It's a huge space there for birthday parties, and that's also going to be where the stingray pond is going to be located. and basically people can have their birthday parties there, and it's going to be it's great. You know, I'm sure we're going to get booked pretty quickly, but I think it's a very unique thing. We have a coral exhibit, and coral is actually incorporating some of the designs within the tanks and things like that. So it's going to be a very interesting experience when it comes to birthday parties, to the coral, and the different exhibits there. There's about 36 different exhibits people are going to be able to explore.
Tell us about, I know that you guys are still working out the cost of going and having an experience at the aquarium. When is your grand opening, and about what target cost are you looking at?
Well, we have a annual pass, which allows you unlimited access to the aquarium during business hours, which is about 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Sundays it's a little later, 11 o'clock to 9 o'clock. However, these annual passes are going to allow you unlimited access. It's about $100, and it's for a family of 4, but can be tailored anyway. So that's going to be a great thing for local families to have in the area. Not just local, but all over the capital region.
How are we caring for the sea life? Do you have specialists, marine biologists? What's the expertise level on these animals and these fish? And are they rare, extinct? Speak on that.
Well, we have a variety of different creatures. It's not about if they're rare, if they're extinct. It's about having the variety and having people explore the full benefits of sea life, things like that. Our staffing is, you have to be pretty well experienced to be able to work at an aquarium at this level. We have a marine biologist, we have a lab biologist, we have a couple divers and educators, and basically we're going to be able to make the habitats safe for the fish. We're going to be able to incubate them properly. After construction happens, it's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks to actually get the fish ready for the water. So we want to make sure that we're incorporating them into the best environment possible, and that's why it's going to take about 6 weeks. We're definitely taking extreme precautions to make sure the fish are going to have are going to be able to be immersed in a great environment, and great and safe environment.
Yeah, that's really important, because here we are all anticipating the wait. Via Entertainment has been opened, and I'm going to have you speak on that in a minute. But the safety of these creatures are very, very important. And speak on what is your favorite part of the aquarium right now?
My favorite part, honestly, my favorite is the tunnel tanks. You basically walk in there, and we have about 3. You walk through 1, 2, and then 3. It's a 360 view. You're completely immersed in an underwater experience. There's water all over you. We're going to have our sharks in there. We're going to have a variety of different fish, and it's going to be great. You just look around, and you're pretty much immersed in an underwater experience. Nothing like, we don't have anything like this in the capital region, and I think when people finally go through that, they're going to be very very surprised and want to do it again. Yeah.
And how long is that tour going to take?
It's going to take about an hour and a half. And we encourage you to take your time, stay in there for as long as you need to, and by that time, I think people are gonna be very surprised at what they see.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk. Let's bounce over to Via Entertainment and that partnership with Via Aquarium. Tell us how that's gonna work.
Well, we definitely encourage you to go explore Via Entertainment once you get done with the experience you have at Via Aquarium. It's Via Entertainment's been here for about 6 months so far. It's basically kind of like, it's a 30,000 square foot family entertainment complex. You have bowling there, you have an arcade there, a restaurant, bar and grill, comedy club, and a great redemption desk. So it's basically designed for families to go and just have a good time. Go and earn some tickets, earn great prizes, go have a bite to eat. But we also have things there for kind of like the nightlife scene and older fellows too. We have happy hour specials, we have our comedy club, we have bar events like bingo and trivia, things like that. We just recently got the NFL package, so every game, every Sunday, so to say, you can go there, get 50-cent wings and enjoy that specific demographic as well. But at the core, it's really about bringing families together and giving them an experience that they can enjoy pretty much, and it's great. We have a lot of different events going on. E-gaming, we have e-gaming on every other Monday. Paint sip, we have. Wednesdays there's bingo, and on the weekends we try to get bands and bands in there too as much as we can, and it's a great experience. We have the outdoor patio open, so it's really good. I think people really don't know a lot about the VIA Entertainment Complex until they actually walk in there. Then they're very surprised at what they see.
Yeah. And what's your favorite thing to eat there?
I honestly, I like the wings. For some reason, I think that our restaurant there has the best wings in the capital region. And yeah, I'm a wing fanatic, and it's weird that I'm saying that, but I think that the wings are great, especially when they have 50-cent wings on game day. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good
game
stuff.
day, love it. So, what has been your overall experience here in Rotterdam with Via Aquarium? Are the people excited about it? Do they want to find? I mean, I know they're knocking on your doors. When are you going to open? When are you going to open? And clearly, we spoke on the safety of the creatures and the animals, and the fish. So, are you anticipate, do you have anxiety over this now, because it's gonna, it's basically game day is gonna be here soon?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this?
Well, basically, it's in that period where it's crunch time. It's gonna open in a couple months, and I'm getting a lot of I'm getting a lot of inquiries from the press. I'm getting a lot of inquiries from the people. Our Facebook page is just exploding with people asking the same question: when it's gonna open, when it's gonna open. And as PR director, I have to really kind of answer those questions and not make people upset, because they've been waiting for a long time. People are excited, people are a little impatient, and I honestly think that it's going to be worth the wait for them. They're going to go through this place and be like, all right, it was totally worth the wait for me. So that's kind of where we're going with that right now. My biggest job is making sure all the marketing is in place, all the promotional materials are in place to get ready for launch. We're having a variety of different marketing initiatives going on. I get questions a lot in terms of how are we reaching out to the public, how are we going to be advertising, and I can tell you that once we get open, we're going to be in a lot of different places. No matter where you go, you're going to have something that says Via Aquarium, Via Port Rotterdam, Via Entertainment. So I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if people would say that this place is a different place in a couple months.
Yeah, and let's talk about the mall itself. What's the capacity at right now? How many stores are filled and how many are empty? And do you have a surge for that happening to fill it by holiday time?
Well, I could tell you that we're about 70% capacity right now in terms of the mall being filled, minus the anchor stores. So I can tell you that we have plans for the Macy's building, and I can say that holiday we're expecting a pretty big rush. We don't really have any deadlines of when we're going to get stores in by this date, things like that. But I know I believe that when the aquarium opens, people are going to want a lot more involvement with the mall, and that could lead to more stores coming in and things like that.
Yeah. Good stuff. So what is your favorite fish in the aquarium?
My favorite fish? Well, we're going to have fish coming in a couple months. We don't have any fish in there right now, but if I had to choose one, it would probably be the, oh boy, that's a hard question because we have so many fish in there, Probably one of the, Are
you a shark fan? Do you sit and watch Shark Week or?
I think everyone watches Shark Week.
Yeah, guilty.
But yeah, I think the stingrays. I think the stingrays are probably my favorite fish there. That because you can actually go in and touch them and things like that. It's one of the most interactive exhibits that we have. So I think being able to touch fish is very important, to be able to feel their skin, feel their soft skin, and do that. So I think that would be the coolest thing I would experience in the aquarium. Is for me personally would be the stingray.
Can you speak on other locations of Via Entertainment and Via Aquarium, and about the owners?
Yeah, Via Properties, their U.S. division really focuses on taking, malls that have older malls and kind of making them new again, like using their resources to kind of restore them to their, former glory, so to say. So I think that's why they kind of picked Rotterdam Mall. The old Rotterdam Square Mall, and renamed it Viaport. And that's definitely been one of the challenges that I've had. You know, I'm taking a mall that has a kind of like a negative reputation in the past couple of years, and kind of helping restore that, rebrand it, changing the public perception on Viaport Rotterdam, because a lot of people still associate it with the Rotterdam Square Mall, and in reality we're far from those days. You know, we're getting an aquarium here, we have the entertainment complex, we have True Escape, which is another attraction, kind of like a mystery room, and True Terror, which is kind of going to be like a Halloween attraction as well. That's going to be opening up at the end of the month. So we're trying to turn it into that, you know, family destination, and we've been making some headway on that, you know, surely but surely. So that's kind of where we are on that.
Good, good. Sounds exciting. It sounds like you've done a lot of work. Let's speak on the owners and their locations. How many locations of Viaport Aquarium are there?
Well, right now it's just the one. They have a Aquarium in Turkey right now. So we actually have, there's a Viaport in New York, and we have a headquarters in Florida. And I believe that we're going to be expanding in the near future as well. So right now it's two locations. V Aquarium is in this one, and V Entertainment is in this one as well. But there's another V Entertainment in the Florida location, but no aquarium. So hopefully, if this location goes well in New York, there's going to be a lot more V Aquariums in the future.
Okay. And you said the owners are from Turkey?
The owners are from Turkey. Yep. It's called Via Properties, and the owners are from Turkey.
Great, great. So, what has been your takeaway from this all? Has this been a really good experience for you working with the fish? Because you went from journalism to working with fish. So, is it this, like, how does that all come together for you?
Well, you know, I went from journalism to marketing to marketing the fish. But no, it's great. I have to say though, I've learned so much about aquariums. I've learned so much about fish. You know, I share an office with David Gross right now, and you know, just we have conversations that are pretty much, you know, involve learning about fish. And I have to say, my knowledge base around fish and how aquariums work has grown immensely, and I can't wait to get this place off the ground.
Yeah, tell us about the staffing that you're looking to hire, and about how much job growth are you looking to put from now until say December, January, till 2017.
Well, you know, we have a couple educators. We have a lab biologist, the director. We're hiring a couple divers, and you know, that's going to be a substantial amount of job growth. And we're still in the process of hiring candidates as well. Down the road, we're probably going to incorporate some interns and assistants as well. We just hired a guest services manager, and we're currently looking for a guest services manager assistant right now. So you know, it's all about timing, you know, and we hope to have the appropriate staff ready for when we open, and that's pretty much 100% possibility that we're going to do. And you know, the job growth is going to be great. I mean, people that have been in the job now, like myself, you know, the educators, the biologists, we all love what we're doing, and we are thrilled to have a position which allows us to do things other positions won't. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun and fish.
Yeah, you know, one day I could be doing a you know, interview, and then you know, an hour later I'm on top of a tunnel tank taking pictures, you know, and I'm watching water being put in tanks. I mean, it's a very different experience than other jobs I've had in the past. It's a lot more interactive. You know, this is going to be a staple in the community. So, you know, people are going to get to know the staff. They're going to get to know me. They're going to get to know David, and it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
I love the section. It's more the interactive section of the aquarium. Speak on that again.
Well, you know, we're going to have a couple interactive exhibits. You know. When we do tours, sometimes we do some press tours. We get people in there before it opens up. And the other day I was in one of our prototyping rooms, and they were working on the Liquid Galaxy, and it's great. I mean, our director calls it Google Earth on steroids. You know, you're surrounded by five 4K displays. It's kind of like a 3D experience, and you can go all over the world. You can go underwater. You can explore different aspects of the world. It's very hard to explain unless you're actually in the thing. It's very interesting. It's very cool. We also have our virtual sandbox, which you had on display at the Schenectady block party. And basically, it's a sandbox with a projector on top, and people can actually move their hands through the sand, and the land masses change. So it's like a huge like map, and you can run your hands through it, and the land masses change. You know, if you dig your hands through and pull, you know, the lands will fill up with water. It's very cool. And if you want to see that in action, we have a video posted on our Facebook page. It's Facebook, and then just type in Via Aquarium, and you'll be there. And we have a video to explore to kind of that shows off what it does in more depth, because it's something where you have to be there to actually kind of like immerse yourself in. So I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, it sounds so much fun. You know, another serious part though of having such a great job and so fun is the safety of the people coming to visit, the safety of the animals, the safety of the divers. Speak on that.
Well, you know, the divers are going to have their own suit, obviously. You know, I was just in the diver's office the other day, and it's a pretty nice setup they got there. You know, they have a shower, they got their dive suits in there. You know, it's really cool. I mean, we take great precaution to kind of protect the fish, and you know, our lab biologist is basically going to ensure that they're in the most ideal conditions. You know, they're being fed properly. The pH of the water is where it needs to be. You know, we actually take a lot of precautions doing that, and that's why it takes a little bit of time to kind of actually incorporate the fish in the water. It's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks to kind of get the fish and kind of get them used to their new environment. So we don't want to take any shortcuts. We want to ensure that the fish are in the safest environment possible, and that's exactly what we plan to do.
Where are you getting some of these fish, by the way? We
get them from all over the place, you know. You know, we have local fisheries. Project Piab is one of them. I'd Google that and get more information. But you know, some of them are basically, you know, they're from all over the place. You know, the Amazon, but we actually have a Adirondack exhibit too, which we're going to get from local fisheries as well. So it's going to be good. You know, the fish are coming from all over. We're going to have a great mix of tropical, freshwater, saltwater fish. And it's actually interesting because we color coded the exhibits. You know, if you go in the freshwater, it's color coded a certain way. If you go in the saltwater, it's color coded a different way, and it's great. It's great.
So, if someone is looking to gain more information, what is the website that we can gain more information? They can also come right to the mall here at Viaport Mall, Aquarium, or Entertainment and get information. But where could you direct them to?
Yeah, you know, we're in the process of making a brand new website. So when that goes up, you're going to be able to go to www.viaquarium.com. But right now, we have as many updates as we can on our Facebook page. So if you just go on our Facebook page, type in Via Aquarium, you'll be able to find out all the different updates and what we're doing and things like that. You know, our website should be up within the next couple weeks or so, and we'll have all the information you need on birthday parties, hours, ticketing information, and you can even book your ticket online as well. We're going to have a time ticket booking, you know. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah. And how about your grand opening? Are we having a spectacular party, or how are we going to get you guys out there?
Well, you know, we're still planning that. You know, we're in talks of doing a ribbon cutting, kind of like a red carpet event. So you're going to have to stay tuned. Stay tuned on the Facebook page for different announcements, and we'll be sending invitations out as soon as we know a date. We can lock down a date, and we'll let the public know about it.
Yeah. And how can the public help you except by coming to Via Aquarium and Via Entertainment? What else can we do to help you guys promote? Because it's such Rotterdam. People that are in Rotterdam, they love Rotterdam. They love their community. We were just at Tops the other day. They were celebrating 60 years in business. They really have a big heart here in Rotterdam. So how can the Rotterdam community help the mall and help Viaport?
You know, I think the best thing to do is just explore, have an experience here at the mall, have an experience at, you know, Viaport Rotterdam, have an experience at V Entertainment, explore what we have to offer, and you know, spread the word about how, you know, of your experience. You know, if you have a good experience, tell your friends and have them explore it too. You know, so that's the best way to kind of get the hype up, I think.
So, what do you think the future is of the aquarium business in malls? Because this is quite unique.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely rare having a aquarium not stand alone, but you know, in a mall with other stores. Mm-hmm. I think having an aquarium here definitely helps boost the business for a mall in general by increasing the foot traffic. But it also adds that kind of like extra layer. You know, as I said before, most malls don't have an aquarium. And if you're a small business owner in a mall here, you can say that I am a tenant of a mall that has the only aquarium in the capital region. I think that's something a lot of people don't have.
Yeah, it's very unique. It's very unique. Well, very good. Alan, I think I'm out of questions now to ask you. Is there anything you'd like to add? Any events coming up or anything like that that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
The Halloween season's coming up, and with True Terror opening up, Viaport is having a couple Halloween events of its own. Actually, V Entertainment on Halloween, we're going to be having a costume party for kids that day. We're going to be giving away 5 $100 game cards to the costume contest winners, and that's going to be followed. That's going to be held before the trick-or-treating event. So the mall has a trick-or-treating event that they do every year. I was not here last year, so I did not participate in it. However, being Halloween, being in a safe environment, what I've learned is that parents kind of bring their kids to the mall rather than actually trick-or-treating. So 1 to 5 we're going to have trick-or-treating in the mall. I'm sorry, 6 to 8 we're going to have trick-or-treating in the mall on Halloween. So people are going to be able to go to the stores and kind of do their trick-or-treating there and head over to the party. And it's going to be a great experience. Head over to the party in the Comedy Club at V Entertainment, and that's going to be an experience. You also have a fashion show coming up this Saturday, which Perfect Look, the haircut place, is actually doing all the cosmetics, and that's going to be good. It's going to be held right outside of Avenue at 1 o'clock, and that's going to be great. Models, fashion show. It's going to be good.
And how do you enter the contest for the Halloween? And you said it was going to be before Halloween, or is it on Halloween?
It's actually on Halloween.
Okay, it's on Halloween. The age?
You can be. We actually haven't set an age for that, actually, but I would say a kid. You have to be a kid, a child, no adults. No adults allowed. We're actually going to be having a separate adult party that Friday, so the 28th, I believe that is. We're going to be throwing a Halloween party. It's going to be good. It's going to be from 10 to 12. I'm sorry, 12 to 1 a.m. And we're going to have drink specials. We're going to have costume contests. We're giving away about $500 in prizes that night. And that's going to be good for people who are more along the adult side, 21 and up, to come and enjoy a great Halloween celebration.
Yeah. And for the kids, is it a free event?
Absolutely. This is a free event for the kids. It's a free event for the adults, too. So show up in your best costume and see what you can do.
Alan Finitzi, thank you so much for being on SceneTV and sharing Viaport and Via Aquarium with us today here on SceneTV. Thanks so much.